Last time on Castle World, Farmer John defeated Lord Dragon, ending his blood feud with the Beast and rescuing Princess Charlotte. A celebration was held by the Queen in his honor. Now the two lovebirds are given a moment of respite. Alright, here we have all three of the combinable structures from the Castle World MOC set, and they're really cool individually in their own right, but when we combine them together, they get really neat too, and it just matters how much space you got and what you're looking to do. But before we get into it, I just want to show off that I did make some small additions that were not in the instructions here. I added this 1x2 brick with a claw there and a plate on top, and I just put it right here next to this connection to give us a little bit more options for what we can do, because this one thing right here lets us do a couple other really neat things that are really fun for the set. And that's from my own parts in my own collection, but you shouldn't have too much trouble. You could use a single plate and just boost it up with two other plates or whatever you want. The other is this right here. There's a 3x2 plate that's supposed to extend out here and fills in here. I just moved it inside one to give us a little bit of a gap here, and that gives us more options for combining the structures as well. But other than that, man, real cool. So let me show you some of the things we can do. So check out the various ways we can combine these. You're going to want to open them up, get a look at those connection points. So we only got one way to really connect these on this side. You could connect it this way, but you're going to get this huge gap in the wall that's going to look kind of funky and not really be functional. So you're going to want to pop it out and clip it like this, and that's pretty much the only way you're going to get it, but that gets the walls at least even in center. And I will say it is frustrating, sometimes it doesn't clip in super securely, so if you move the thing around, you might have to re-clip it in. Now here's where it gets fun. So initially you're supposed to just clip it together like this, and that's how it would be, because that's the clip that it comes with, and that's the placement of where that would be. So this is the default look of the castle with those two connected in the original connection ports, and it looks real fun. I like the way this castle does look with these two together. It's got a good silhouette to it, but the interior play space is so squished together that if you're not folding this open, you're not going to have fun playing with it. I mean, look at that. Good luck getting your hand in there and playing. That is a narrow space. You're going to have to open the thing up to do anything, and still you're not going to have room to really put too much around. That said, if we utilize this connection point over here with the plate that we moved in, and we click it in this way, filling in that space, and re-click this one in because that came undone. Now we get this really cool looking version of the structure, which I think looks good from all angles. Like straight head on, that looks pretty dope. But you spin it around, I really like the way this looks. And yeah, I think this one's a whole lot of fun. Got to give you an overhead shot, and look at that. You got a lot more room to reach in and actually do stuff, play with your guys, pose them, and just get your hands up in there without breaking the set apart and taking it off your shelf if you don't have the room to do a thing. But very cool. Let's go look at some of those other configurations. So combining these two structures only has one real option that is workable, and it's going to be with the original connection points. So for this right here, you're just going to want to connect it to where the walls are even and flush together. Flipping it onto this side here, to get it to where it will line up properly and everything connects together, you need to click it to the first connection out, so this wall bumps out just a tiny bit more and is not even, because if you push it out otherwise, it's just going to push this side out enough to where it disconnects from the main area. But this is the look you get from these two combined, and I think that looks pretty darn good. You can choose which is the main entrance or the front of the building. I imagine it goes this way though. Looks good, I like that. And you can see from this overhead, we got a decent playable space there. You know, you can reach your hand in there all right. Still a little bit tighter than that other one. But yeah, that looks good. That's very playable, a good amount of space. Doesn't take up too much shelf room, but enough that it looks like a good, real structure. I can dig that. Now let's take a look at how these two combine together. This one only opens up and has connections the one way, but we flip this over here, you see this can move around all sorts of ways and be done as a thing. So that opens up a lot more options. Now, if we use the connection with this stuck inward and connect this right here into that empty space, we can get a look that we wouldn't have been able to get otherwise. And you can connect this right there, and that looks real cool. And of course, depending on how you move things around, it will have a different look to it. And that came undone. There we go. Yeah, so like I say, this will unhinge as you're moving it around sometimes. So keep that in mind as I'm showing this to you. But that looks good from all the angles. I dig that a lot. And look at all that play space in there. You can reach your arm in and move and grab and do whatever you want, and you don't have to move nothing. Like, that is an imposing structure with a lot of play space. That's not all. So disconnect it from here, and we're just kind of flipping this in and pushing this in here and connecting it. And this is the original formation that this is supposed to be in. And you can see it has a pretty good overhead too. Decent room to reach in, a good look to it, and it's got a good profile. Like, it looks good from various angles. Obviously, it's got the cutout doll style right there, so you do have that going. And I know not everybody's a fan of that, but it is what it is. But man, I think that's real cool too. But we've only seen the various two combinations. Let's look and see what we can do with all three of them. Check that out. This is all three structures combined together, and it actually utilizes both of the connection points that I made as an addition to this MOC set. This combination utilizes both the additional clip on this set here, and it utilizes the pushed in plate for this one here. So we're just going to disconnect this, and we're going to connect it right here in this area, so that's filling in the gap right there and making that completely even. You don't even need to open this set to do that, but you will pop that open there. Then we're moving this over with that open, and we're taking this new connection port here, and we're gonna plug that in like so, and then just open this up and push these in so that we get a nice even connection there. But look at this. So very cool. Now, because of the hinges, you do got to kind of use two hands when moving it around just to make sure it doesn't break apart and hold it evenly. But it looks good from all the different sides. And you can move it around and fiddle a little just with the hinges to have it get the exact look you want. Just make sure, like right there when I had to do that little click, make sure that it is connected properly in the 3 different spots that it puts together. Or I guess 6, I should say. But man, very cool. Look at all that. Plenty of room to get in there and have some fun. Whole lot of space. This thing's almost as big as the regular Lion Knight castle, just spread out with emptiness in between and, you know, actually playable. Yeah, I really like the way this combination looks, especially, and it takes up the same amount of space as the regular Lion Knight castle, plus you get 7 other sets on top of it, and this is playable, being able to reach in and do a thing, and have space inside instead of it be all clamshell closed up as it was. But let's take a look and see what else we can do. This combination connects right over there, having those 2 walls flush together. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to take the connection point on this end from the outside, because it will not fit properly angled like this. But if we angle it like this here, now there will be a big gap, but it's like there's a crack in the structure. At least that's how I look at it from there. Now we fold this open like that and bring this in here. Now we have the 2 different connection hooks available to us. We have the new one that I just added here now, and we have the original one in the instructions. So what you're going to want to do is take the one from the original instructions there, and you're going to connect it right in here. You can connect it solidly like so using the original, but what I like to do is use this bit over here where we remove the plate and pop it in this way, so you have this sort of look. And that's pretty cool, but you got to be careful moving around just like the others, or it will break apart on you. But it's got a good look to it. But it's not my favorite. This is my least favorite of the combinable structures, just because it's very open from the top, yeah, but it's just very fragile, not super playable. It does certainly give you the most solid playable space, though, so it does have that going for it. It's just funky looking and takes up way too much room, and isn't really in the spirit of the whole Castle World MOC playset, which is a bunch of stuff to have a lot of fun with. This is 3 things taking up a whole lot of one thing on the shelf. Now this one doesn't properly count, but we connect the walls right there together for the 2 big structures, and we're going to connect the guard castle onto this side right here, and you're going to have that connected using the original connection for it, but ported into the area where we plugged back the 1 tile and pushed it back there. However, this is just going to kind of fold into that empty space right there where we have this tile pushed in, and we're just going to utilize that. There's no real connection, nothing's clicking together, so it does just kind of open up. But this is a good look in and of itself, so, you know, it's going to come disconnected pretty easy because you don't have the various connection points together, clipping it all in place. But I think it looks good, and it gives you solid play area in there. And speaking of playing, I moved the Queen's Throne from the Joust set into the 2nd floor of this tower here, and there's not a whole lot of room to make an actual like throne room and everything, and this one had the space for it, and it was completely empty. I would have put it up here, but there's no real room for it when you raise the portcullis. But this is by far my favorite combination, because I just love this as its own individual structure so much. It's a great fun set that utilizes shelf space so well and is very playable. And although the combinations using this set for both the other sets are fantastic, I feel like all 3 together is just too much, and it saddens me not having this as its own set, because it's so good as a solo thing. But this right here, I really like this combination of the two bigger structures. It's very solid. You get a lot going on. You have that throne room with the big like office area up top. You get the main gates. You get the stables. You get all the guard towers. You have a lot of area to click people in. You get a storeroom, and you get the jail there. So you got a lot of playability as far as like breakout features and stuff to do with the raising portcullises and the drawbridge here. So whole lot of fun. I like these guys a lot. Stay tuned because well, I still got to show you all the Castle World stuff together, and we got to find out what's going on in the story. Will Farmer John be able to thwart the magics of the shifting castle curse cast by the bewitching evil alchemist Zora? Will the dark influences of this elven princess be halted in time? Tune in next time as we look at all 10 MOCs together and overview all of Castle World while continuing the story.